Hey everybody, welcome to another San Antonio Tech Dad podcast. My name is Alan Bush and I'm here with.
Corey Dockendorf.
And Drew Cox.
Hey, we are just a couple of three dads that live in San Antonio. We do nerdy things for a living, and we've got kids, and so we're kind of putting that all together into our little podcast here. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today. I think we're just going to start off with a real brief movie review that I took my son, my 5-year-old son, to see Hotel Transylvania 2 over the weekend, and it was a really fun movie. It was, yeah, it's not going to win any Oscars, but it was just a fun movie. It was Adam Sandler and friends having fun and doing things, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for my family, especially because Hotel Transylvania 1 was the first movie that we took our son to when he was about 3 years old, and he loved it. He loves the characters, and so it was great to bring him back to that to see that movie again. It was just a nice, fun little continuation of that story. I just picked up with the marriage and the starting of the family of the two young lovebirds from the original, and went on to some shenanigans from there, and had some nice lessons for families. So it was fun. Have you guys seen the original or the new version?
I saw the original. I haven't seen the new one yet. I'm looking forward to it. Actually, it looks cute, looks fun, looks highly entertaining. Uh, I really enjoyed the first one. My daughter really enjoyed the first one. So we'll see how it goes. Drew.
I have seen neither. The first movie we took my son to was Planes, the car series taken to air. Um, so that's my son can probably sit through anything that's on a screen. So he's easy to take to movies. I think Transylvania sounds like a good combination of two movies to show him. But since two is in the theaters, that could be fun. I have no idea how my daughter would deal with that. She's getting better at watching a show, but um, given her druthers, she's everywhere and crazy. So the activity might necessitate one parent taking one child to a movie and the other parent running the other one in circles.
Well, that's the way that we did it. So, we split off, and my wife stayed home with the 2-year-old for nap time and not screaming through the aisles of the theater time. And so we kind of divided and conquered on that one. Um, so that was, yeah, it was a good way to do it. It's a fun little series of characters, and it's nice to kind of look at these monsters in a non-threatening way, and kind of flips the table on everything, where the monsters are the normals, and the humans are the ones that they're scared of, and it was fun to see that. And it's Adam Sandler, not
Is it kind of
really.
Caspery? Does it have kind of a Casper bent to it?
No, no. I mean, it's more like the original synopsis of the first movie is the Dracula has a hotel that he built completely secluded from humans, so that those mean humans that are always hunting down the monsters wouldn't be able to get him. It was a sanctuary and a refuge away from humans. So it was kind of a play on that.
And he plays the typical dad character. So
Yeah,
it's one of those like Adam Sandler plays a really good uh, dad father figure in movies like this. So
yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. It was, it's Adam Sandler and his friends. It's basically the cast of the, uh, what were those
The entire
really
Adam
bad
Sandler
movies?
catalog,
Yeah, I know he was those,
the
those
whole
really
catalog.
bad
There's
movies that
like
he
six
did.
guys. They're in all
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. But I think that they're a little bit more palatable when they are when they are
Not physically
animated.
on
Right.
screen.
When it's not actually them. When you don't have to look at David Spade, it's a lot better. Like David Spade actually
Uh,
plays the Invisible Man, so it's like you don't have to look at him at all, and so it works out really well for everybody there.
and the typical cast of characters like everybody from his movies and things before he's done, Rob Schneider and all that.
Yeah,
does the
absolutely.
boy who played Frankenstein in Big Daddy play Frankenstein in this movie?
Oh, wouldn't that be interesting?
I don't think so.
Amazing.
That would be nice. No, it's Kevin James is playing Frankenstein
Yeah.
in the new one, and
Is there a
yeah,
Scuba Steve?
yeah, he's it's actually, his name is Frank, middle initial N, last name Stein.
Scuba
Yeah, my
So
teddy bear as a child was named Ted space E
E.
period.
Very clever. Very clever.
Yeah,
First name
that guy.
Ted, middle initial E, last name Bear. Nice. Well, hey, speaking of movies, you guys might have heard. There is a new movie coming out in December. It's called, let me look at the information here, Star Wars. Have you guys heard about this movie? It's coming out. It seems to be a big thing.
Oh man.
Don't force me to talk about this.
Oh.
Oh, nice, nice. No, I see we've Drew's puns have awakened. So
It hurts. It hurts.
it does, it does.
Yeah,
No,
I think there were a handful of rewatchings of that particular trailer that was launched during a football game, to much chagrin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, to dive back into our day jobs or night jobs as they are, Corey. That trailer and then the releasing of the tickets just melted the internet. It knocked offline every ticket site. They were selling tickets 2 months in advance and knocked them all offline. And it's something that Drew and I in our day jobs have spent a month and a half trying to teach people how to get their sites ready for Black Friday shopping and things like that. And Fandango, I wish you were listening and you could have.
If
But
ever there were a high traffic event, the
right,
potential resurgence and rectification of many wrongs is one of those.
yeah, absolutely.
This
So
this was
what's
a
the
bit of this was a bit of a shocker too. Is that this was even certain websites like Alamo Draft House and some of the locals out here in San Antonio. They tried to be prepared for it. They just were not expecting the outpouring that was Star
yeah.
Wars.
You can only guess it's going to be so big, and when it's three times that big,
Yeah.
that's what you're going to do.
There was there was no try. There was only do.
Wise, wise words.
It's very wise. So what's the consensus? Are we going to see this movie?
Yes, take my money.
We'll be seeing that.
Are we going to take our kids? Or do our kids know the Star Wars universe?
So we live
Cannot.
in a generation now that the kids see Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. They're seeing all sorts of stuff that we typically did not have as kids. So they have a whole new view on that universe than we did. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'm going to take my daughter most definitely, but I have to show her the originals first.
So this question, this is where we want to go with this topic. I have a son, and that son has friends, and that those friends have lightsabers, and so he is
Guilty.
clearly very excited about anything that has to do with Star Wars. He also knows maybe two characters. Um, it's got wars in the name and star in the name, so that's going to be compelling, right? For a child, for a boy, that's compelling. At least for my boy. Um, and so he's been asking me, when are we going to watch Star Wars? When are we going to watch Star Wars? I'm really interested in Star Wars. Okay, that's fair. I realize that. I also know that I came to it organically and in the order that um, my generation was allowed to come to it. You could watch the trilogy, the original, um, at your own whim. There would be, hey, we're gonna watch all three back to back to back. Okay, let's do that, and that happened. And then I lived through the launching of the one, two, and three. So now we have six movies. We're about to receive a seventh, and there's so much more canon content, some of which is aimed directly at kids. How does one introduce a child to this universe without jinxing it?
So the best way to put this is there is a spoiler that happens after episode five. So no matter what you do, your child should watch four and five, and then whatever order you want to do it after that. I feel that if you watch it one, two, three chronologically, when you get to five, the spoilers ruin, right?
I
Um,
I seem to agree.
so I know that people are watching 4, 5, omitting one, going to 2 to 3, and then to 6, which is the machete version. Uh,
Seems to be the way that I would lean if only the movies were there in play.
exactly. Um, I'm a purist, so I may make my daughter watch 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3 to cover all my bases.
Go chronological.
Right. See it the way that I saw it, and then
But you can save her from that.
do I want to? That's the question.
Do you? That's a good question.
I
But do you remember coming out of one being just
who is the
still processing for the next amount of time?
I think I'm still processing
Yeah,
at this point. Um,
certainly.
yeah, and that's the takeaway. Do I make that decision for her? I don't know. Alan, what are you gonna do?
Well, so
Responsibility of
we've already
father.
done it. So we did that machete order, and I think it worked out really well. There was absolutely that um, questioning of how can that be when that bombshell gets dropped in at the end of episode 5, and I mean that was the question that my son asked. You know, how can that be? How can this person be that? Well, let me. I mean, really, is what the story is about. It's not necessarily about Luke. It's about the the fall and redemption of Vader, right? And we find out how he got to be that. And so that was really nice to go back and look at that. There is nothing in episode 1 besides a good score and a great fight scene. Um, with Darth Maul. I mean, that's really all that you need. You don't need to, especially with kids. Kids don't care. No, nobody cared about uh, the minutia of the Trade Federation negotiations. Like there was nobody needed that at all. And if you remove that um, from the planet, from the universe, then nothing changes. Nothing changes. You can say there were people who were trying to separate themselves from the Republic. The Jedi were trying to keep the peace and start in the middle of episode 2, and nothing changes.
And that's about it. You could basically
Yep.
give your kid the synopsis and have the same response.
Did you watch the full movie in one sitting? Did you break it up? If so, where did you break it up? Because I've heard beyond Machete version, there's kind of a chunked version where you maybe read stop at 30 minutes in or stop after a specific
Hmm.
scene,
Oh,
consume that, think on it the next day, watch, another piece.
We probably could have. I mean, we generally did it, uh, over the course of 6 or 8 weeks or something like that, and took our time. I guess probably 5 weeks, but just a lazy Saturday, lazy Sunday, something like that, and sit down and watch the entire nearly 3-hour movie each time. Talk about it and tell the story. And at the same time, we mentioned this earlier. There's so much other content out there, and not just cartoons and TV shows, but there's books and lightsaber toys and everything. And so we had Star Wars ABCs, right? ABC Encyclopedia. And so, oh,
right.
hey, look, here's C-3PO. Oh, here's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, wait, that the Obi-Wan Kenobi looks younger than the Obi-Wan Kenobi that we saw in New
Why is
Hope. I
that?
wonder why that is. Oh, hey, here's Anakin. Who's this guy? And so we go back and look at all these different, look at everybody and, who do you think that is? And actually talk through who do you think that is? Why do you think that this person is in here if we haven't seen them yet? What are they going to be? So, kind of went through that and was able to talk about it. And what do you remember from this? What did this person do? Why are they important?
So I'm looking forward to doing this with my daughter and taking her to see a Star Wars movie in
Hmm.
theaters. That's exciting. That being said, I may have purchased marathon tickets.
Oh. for all six existing ones plus the midnight showing, I'm guessing.
plus the midnight showing.
And how are they approaching the showing of this set of movies?
That's
No,
a great question.
no details yet. They haven't said how they're going to do it. Right?
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. I'm excited.
It's going to be by release date. It's a
It'll
movie
probably,
theater. It's going to be by release date.
and I mean, honestly, it'll be the people that are going to be there. We've seen them.
Yeah, we have.
Well, that gives you like a what a 2:15 matinee, like a intermission there after the sixth episode.
So
That's perfect. They
yeah,
should do it in that order,
well, so it starts at 4 a.m.
right?
and they're doing showings of the new one. I believe starting at 7 p.m.
Hmm.
Super
Sure.
early, so not
That sounds about
midnight.
right.
No, so like brunch, around brunch, there's going to be an opportunity for some speeder races to be going on in one room and some brunch to be going on somewhere else.
jump
And
lunch.
you've got, a couple of hours, and you can come back,
I'm taking a nap.
finish up
Take a
lunch
nap.
and dinner, and it's time to go. I think release date's got to be the way to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
If they care about fans at all, it's going to be by release date.
yeah. We'll see how it goes.
People are just
I
going to
mean,
show up late if it's in story timeline.
skip a couple of them. Just
Mm.
watch the originals.
Yeah, problem.
Either way, I'm excited. So I will report
As you
back
should
when
be.
that happens.
We look forward to a review.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, cool. I guess we got one more movie thing to talk about today, because today is.
Back to the Future Day.
Yay!
Hooray!
Doc Brown will be proud.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. So, I mean, yeah, today was the actual day. It's the real legitimate day, not the 47 other days that the internet has fooled us into believing over the past 5 years.
So the great thing that happened is that the internet today just took over and everything's been Back to the Future oriented somehow. There was even a point, USA Today, the newspaper, actually got in on the action. Um, it's been fantastic. There's just been jokes and references and sightings, and it's been fantastic. I believe, yeah, so USA Today had Youth Jailed, and it has Marty McFly on the cover about some gang shenanigans that happened in Back to the Future 2. Uh, there was an article about Michael J. Fox being arrested for insider trading, and he had his almanac with him. So it's been a very interesting day today.
Yeah, there were plenty of things. It also looks like the Cubs are now 9 outs away from losing out on that prediction, which is too bad for the Cubs and their fans, unless they can pull out a quite the miracle here. But it looks like they're not going to make that one.
But that would have been amazing,
The
right?
Fat Lady has not yet sung.
They have not yet sung. That's very
As
true.
recording this, the Fat Lady has not sung.
Yep,
Could happen.
absolutely.
Potential.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. There's so many things that were promised to us in in that, and well, in every other future-looking show. But I mean, some of the things came fairly close. I mean, there's some of the like the virtual reality stuff is really starting to pick up, and things like that are there. They actually made some of the things that they are based on that. They released the shoes, among other things. But I mean, they missed out on a lot, and it's tough. I mean, I don't know how you would ever even begin to uh, try to call that shot. That's quite the
Right.
brave thing that they did, and they came fairly close.
Well,
Okay.
there's a podcast I listen to from American Public Media called the Marketplace Tech podcast, and it's just like a daily brief. It might be 15 minutes, if that. And they've been doing a series this year that's been about things predicted, shown, associated with Back to the Future. in preparation for today. And I didn't listen to today's episode yet, but they've talked about all sorts of things that were kind of in the background or shown or mentioned or alluded to from the movies and how close we are to reality on those, some of which we've passed recently. Like the hoverboard stuff is all pretty awesome. Its functionality doesn't quite match up the same as Marty McFly's, but there's some pretty cool stuff that we have realized that was in the book and our movie and Almanac. Nearly, come on, Cubs. But it's been pretty interesting to kind of find things that I didn't catch in watching Back to the Future that actually, just caught somewhere in some screen capture in the background that people have found a way to deliver that type of functionality. Probably not giving full responsibility to a movie for that inspiration, but kind of cool that we've gotten to where we are, and the internet was a fun place to be today.
I concur. Yes, it was quite the entertaining moment. I mean, Nike's made the shoes, Lexus made the hoverboard.
Yeah.
It's been fun today. Just look up Back to the Future anywhere right now, and the internet is ablaze. So
Who built the self-driving DeLorean that like drifts and all kinds of crazy business?
Oh, I saw that. Let's see.
I don't recall. I know. Is it Lyft in New York was giving free DeLorean rides?
I believe that Lyft was giving DeLorean rides.
Yeah.
Oh, Stanford taught a self-driving DeLorean to
There you
drift.
go.
Yeah, that's good at Stanford. You gotta know what they're doing.
Those kids.
Smart folks out there. Smart folks.
Indeed.
Well, hey Drew, I think that you had something that you wanted to talk about too. Really cool new thing that the library is doing. Do we lose Drew?
He's smiling.
All
It's
right.
fate. It's destiny.
We
That's
almost got through without any technical difficulties.
There's no way.
Almost.
We have to have it.
Gotta have it. Okay, well, while Drew is
Makes a comeback.
well, yeah, while Drew is making his comeback, I'll go ahead and talk about something that I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It's the Zombie Walk, which is Sunday evening. It's something that my wife and I did, I guess 2 years ago now, and it was just a ton of fun. It was everybody met up at Hemisphere Park and um, uh, walked around like a zombie, right? So I got up in some good makeup and went and went and walked around the park like zombies. We walked all the way down to the Alamo and
Oh
back,
wow.
and it was a lot of fun. I pulled up some pictures here. It was pretty cool.
That's a serious trek.
Yeah, I mean it was not it was definitely a hike there, but yeah, a
Oh
couple of
wow.
pictures there. Julie was doing a little roller derby at the time, so yeah, a little
That's
zombie queen there. Uh,
fantastic.
yeah, so we had some pretty good makeup going on. So it was fun and just it was a family friendly event too. I mean there were plenty of kids there. I think we're gonna take our 5-year-old this year and bring him along. But yeah, just a fun little event for everybody. Have you ever been to that one,
I,
Corey?
I have not. I've been wanting to do it. Look at all these pictures. They say romance is dead. Come on now. Uh,
Exactly.
but no, no, this is something that I definitely have been interested in. Zombie walks are like the new thing.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. I may do this. Is it for a charity event?
So there are some charities that are out there. I don't know that they have a specific charity that they are benefiting. Trying to
That'll
pull
be
up the
interesting.
information. I just showed up and wandered around the park.
Showed up as a zombie.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. Looks like you guys had a lot of fun. I'm glad they're doing it. Like I said, you see them all: zombie walks, pub crawls, all those things nowadays. So I'm interested in it. I would like to do it. My daughter would be scared, lifeless.
She not a
Not
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 a
a
fan.
not a horror
Ah,
monster fan. So I am. So I'm all for this. Make a walk around with other like-minded individuals.
Other zombies, yeah, yeah. It was a lot of fun. My 5-year-old son is pretty adventurous as far when it comes to the scary stuff. I mean, he loves Halloween coming up, and so he's very excited about that. And he, we showed him the pictures, and he didn't get too scared. So I think he's gonna be just fine on this one.
Good. That sounds
So
like fun, man.
yeah,
That's gonna be awesome. I'm hoping to see more pictures this year. So
yeah, we'll definitely take some more pictures and get them out there for you. Well, we're looking for Drew, and I don't think that I think he's having some network difficulties here. Hopefully, he can come on back in, but yeah, if not, well,
sorry, Drew.
well, what do you got, Corey? What's going on?
What? Oh, this weekend what am I doing this weekend? I'm taking the kids this weekend to Fredericksburg. Um, there's a lot of wineries out there in the Fredericksburg area, and usually they have mail order wine that they can do and whatever. And there's a brewery out there, little strip of land, like a strip mall basically of classic old Germantown. And I'm heading up there to pick up a couple of my crates, but I'm gonna of wine at least, and take the kids because they have parties, uh, all family friendly. Show up, hang out, eat a little food, uh, bump elbows with the locals, tell stories. It seems like a fun time, and so we're going to go to a couple of wineries and check them out. And I think that's what we're going to do on Saturday. Just kind of take it easy on Sunday. But yeah, looking forward to that. And I mean, it's October too, so hello Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it should be nice weather, and
We
I
say
think
nice
that.
weather. We'll see.
Well, the last time I checked this afternoon, it looks like the storm's going to clear out by Sunday. So that's fingers crossed too. My fingers are crossed for the zombie walk there. So I will do that. Let's see, Drew, are you back? Oh, maybe.
Oh, fingers. Speaking of fingers crossed, it's the weather. It's throwing them off. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I know we wanted to talk about Luminaria. We were discussing that. Oh, hey, what's
Hey!
up, buddy? Long time
Oh,
no see.
I know. My
You missed me.
network's been
One
annoying
of a
me.
conversation without you. It's great.
So, did you guys talk about lynda.com?
No, no, we were talking about I'm heading to Fredericksburg to a winery to
Oh, you should do that.
take the kids out there and check out the wineries and check out some of the tours out there and let them run around and play and hopefully weather permitting. Fingers crossed.
See, weather permitting. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about.
You're on, but let's talk about
Uh,
the weather because we're
okay.
dads.
So, so this weekend is Luminaria, and that's a yearly event that San Antonio puts on. That's pretty fantastic. It's an evening, so it's Friday and Saturday night downtown San Antonio, and it's grown from just being like one street. It was on Houston Street for a while. Um, then they moved it to Hemisphere Park. Now it's all under construction, so now it's like a multi-block chunk of downtown, a pretty good sized space. And my family has been two or three different times, and uh, it keeps growing and getting more interesting every year. Much of it is outside, and normally that's a great thing this month of the year in San Antonio. But it's going to be very likely pouring down rain, um, at least Friday, maybe also Saturday. So, as excited as I am about Luminaria and the cool art installations that are all illuminated in some way, Luminaria, illuminated, illumination, etc. Um, I don't know that it's going to go down in its full-blown highest potential way, seeing as the weather does not seem like it's going to permit. Actually, quite a few things have been canceled or called off already. It sounds like it might be severe weather, not just a little bit of rain. So keep an eye on the weather. That might be a really fun thing to do this weekend if weather doesn't interfere too much. But I'm really excited about Luminaria. I don't know, have either of you been to any of the previous years?
I'm hoping this will be the first year that I get to go. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to taking the kids, checking it out. Uh, since I've been here to San Antonio, I've heard a lot of things about it, and they say it's fun, and you say it's
It's
fun.
fun. It's
So
fun.
I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to give it a good old college try.
There
But
you go.
I want to go. I've been very interested. That was one of the things that I was really looking forward to. I hope it doesn't get rained out.
So there are going to be pieces that are inside. Um, we saw there's this artist that I wish I had the name off the top of my head, but she uses colored glass and mirrors, and then like one or three or some combination of down lighting, and with prisms and all this stuff, she creates this really beautiful and incredible art against just a white canvas with light and the way she's positioned all of these mirrors and glass and things like that. And it looks like she's going to be back. This person, this individual who does this art, is going to be back this year. It was in the Tropicana Hotel, um, and so really really cool stuff. They do everything from like a laser show display up against some of the buildings to just big projected um, video content that's created to there's a bunch of neon guys that make really cool neon light displays.
Things,
So
art.
it's, I mean, yeah, it's art that's related to light. So it's really, really interesting and a fun place to go. There's food trucks and vendors and stuff like that too. And I'm sure there'll be a guy trying to sell you some glow stick or whatever, and trying to convince the kids to get one of those spinny butterfly exciting um, items or a sword that glows strikingly like a lightsaber. But it's been a lot of fun, and we hope to go on Friday. We've got plans Saturday night, so Friday's the one that actually looks like the weather's going to be the worst. So we'll see. But it's one of the kind of traditional San Antonio events that I look forward to every year, and it's coming up. It's this weekend, so watch the weather, check it out if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and be there on Saturday night. So, Alan, you gonna try and make it?
I'm gonna see what's happening. I've got an improv show on Saturday night, indoors, fortunately, so
Oh,
it'll be
Fun.
we're doing a little private gig somewhere, so I'll be at that. Friday, I think, has already been claimed on my calendar. So, and then of course Sunday is the zombie walk that we just talked about. So that's our calendar for the weekend.
well,
Cool.
weather permitting, if the weather's bad, just stay inside and marathon Star Wars with your kids this weekend. See what you
That
can do.
also
That's what we've learned.
is a good idea. Is a good idea.
So how much of my San Antonio Bibliothèque
Yep. Not a bit.
conversation, not a
Nothing.
single moment?
Not it.
So I'm a huge fan and advocate of San Antonio's online library. Bibliothèque is the one of the cutting edge libraries really in the country. And San Antonio has done a great job of backing and building the content there. You can download ebooks, audiobooks, all kinds of content through Bibliothèque. And they just announced a partnership with lynda.com, so you can go and learn all kinds of great stuff through their platform. I've learned UX, I've learned the basics of PHP. All kinds of amazing content is available to you through lynda.com with your library card. So if you don't have a library card, go get one. It's a free resource. You pay your taxes, you might as well uh, take advantage of access to all of that content. But as a San Antonio Bexar County resident, you have access to some incredible content. San Antonio's done a great job with their library system and the technical components of it. So take advantage of it. Go learn something. Go grab an ebook. Go check out the bearbibliotech.com website. Um, it is absolutely fantastic. It's actually bearbibliotech.org, and not BEAR. If you're local, you know that there's an X in there somewhere. Put it in the right spot, put all that stuff in your browser, and go to their website and sign up if you don't already have a library card.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of our public library, San Antonio Public Library and Bibliotech. I've been using their apps for audiobooks for a while, and that's a great way to grab those. I still like Audible for the new releases and some of the more hard to find things, but always check out that public library because if you have a card, you can get the books for free. I listened to the Wheel of Time series, which is 14 novels that all average about uh, 800 or 900 to 1,200 pages each in print, and I listened to that entire series on audiobooks and just blasted it into my brain hole. And that was a great way to do it. It would have cost me a considerable amount of money to do that otherwise. So great for that. But Linda is something that I have used before and have learned so much from that. And so it's great to know that it's available to me and to other people who might not have access to anything remotely near that quality of education otherwise. So it's a great resource, and I hope that a lot of people can take advantage of that.
That's the first I've seen of it or heard of it, so I'm excited about it now.
Check it out.
Thanks, Drew.
Hey, you're welcome. Glad to help,
Absolutely.
Corey.
The more
Great
you know.
tips. Great tips. Well, great. Well, hey, this was another fun little chunk of time that we got to spend
I was gonna say,
together talking
technically
about.
difficult podcast.
One day, someday,
I don't
it'll.
know. I don't know if it's Time Warner or my router or what, but I've had to unplug my coax cable multiple times today. It's making me crazy.
Not cool.
That's all it takes to reestablish a connection. So I'm gonna have to pull that coax and replace it. There must be a short somewhere. I don't know, man. It's making me real crazy.
Ouch.
And yeah. Well, great. Well, hey, thanks, guys. Real quick while we sign off here, anything you want to share where we can, what other things that you're into? Corey, you want to plug your Starting Point podcast?
Oh yeah. If you, for those interested, video games. I do a video game podcast with my friend Brian Bentley. 30 minutes, just quick chatting, similar like this, very casual. You guys can check us out on Twitter at a starting point. And we're on iTunes and SoundCloud and every other mass media that you could possibly imagine. But yeah, check us out. Give us a listen, especially into the video game world and the back end of that and how that business runs. It's a fun podcast, and we just had special guests on from Blizzard North and the guys that built Torchlight and are working on Rebel Galaxy. So it was a fun podcast, and give it a shot. Give it a shout out. Drew, how about you, bud?
I have no such awesome podcast.
No, I hear you have a podcast. I'm just kidding.
I have no such awesome podcast. I have a career that includes a show that's about the cloud,
Yeah,
but I have no such awesome podcast.
we'll have you on. We'll just have you on as a guest. We'll talk about video games.
I'll do my best. I'm a real big fan of Zelda.
Oh, hey, that works. We can talk about Zelda all day,
That's
all
my
day.
house
Sunday.
right now. That'll do.
Cool. Well, hey, I mentioned earlier I do improv comedy with San Antonio Comedy Sports. So if family-friendly, made-up stuff is your thing, you can come out and see us every Friday and Saturday. You can check us out at cszsa.com. And I don't know, I do this thing and raise kids and do that work podcast thing with Drew as well every once in a while. Corey, you mentioned that your podcast, Starting Point, is on iTunes. We have actually just got this podcast up on iTunes. So for the 10 or so people that have already found our podcast that way, you probably already know that. But anybody else, it's out there now. So go ahead and take a listen and let us know that you have found it by giving it a rating and a review. So on that note, I think we'll go ahead and say thanks for listening, and we'll see everybody next week.
Oh, but wait. We have to do one more thing. I have a dad joke.
Okay, go.
I came well prepared. very simple. I caught my daughter on this one, and I felt proud pulling this one off. And that was, what did one orphan say to the other? Get in the Batmobile.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nice.
That's all I got for that. That's it. I'm here all night, folks. Thank you very much.
I'm good. I'm gonna stand on the quality of my force pun earlier.
That was solid earlier.
That was a good one.
Yeah. You didn't force that one, which was nice. You just let it happen.
That was
And yeah.
Just
that
let
was
the pun
unfair.
awaken.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So-
Yes, I think that's it. That's enough for us.
That's enough.
That's
That's
enough.
Stop.
Well,
Stop.
all right, everybody, take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.